The Southern Upland Way, Day 10, Scab Clew to Traquair, 22 miles. Although we were still putting in long days and having to contend with almost constant downpours, the walking was generally becoming easier, and this day was no exception. This was probably partly because we were becoming accustomed to our daily dose of mileage and gradient, and partly because the more strenuous sections were now behind us. At the end of our day, it was very nostalgic to revisit Innerleithen, the place where we had first been inspired to walk the Southern Upland Way when we were staying there after Alex's graduation from Edinburgh University in July 2019. Another 1-hour taxi journey returned us to the trail at the remote location of Scab Clew in the Ettrick Valley. Our taxi driver told us that he had picked up Lolita from the trail the previous day in order to take her back to an outdoor shop in Moffat to buy new boots because her walking shoes had literally fallen apart. Apparently the sole had come off one of them. This is a typical example of the brutality of the Southern Upland Way. Here we are at Scab Clew and about to head north towards the Yarrow Valley and St Mary's Loch. The first stanza of a poem entitled Ettrick by Lady John Scott. This stone is located right next to the pickup or dropping off point. Starting the climb up from Scab Clew. Following old drove roads which crisscross the whole area between Scab Clew and Traquair. Approaching Cross Clew Burn, 1.5 miles before St Mary's Loch. Cross Clew Burn. Our first sighting of St Mary's Loch and the onset of heavy rain. St Mary's Loch is 3 miles long and 131 feet deep. It is the largest natural loch in the Borders and Lothian region. St Mary's Loch in the rain. And then, suddenly, the sun made a rare appearance, and Alex was able to get his drone out. (14th century Dryhope Tower, used for defensive purposes during the days of the Border Reivers, who were raiders along the Anglo-Scottish border between the 14th and 17th centuries. A little fairy glen at Douglas Burn. We found our 9th kist. Yay! Our first sighting of Traquair and Innerleithen just behind it. Just 3 miles to go. We booked a taxi to pick us up from the trail in Traquair because it would have been an extra 2 miles to walk to our accommodation in Innerleithen, and we really didn't fancy that after such a long day. We met up again there with Lolita, who was staying at our B&B, and it was great to chat and exchange stories about our experiences along the trail thus far. Please see my Day 11 video for the continuation.